All right, Rob. We led off the show, actually, with the news that Kirk Cousins has signed with the Atlanta Falcons. And there are other signings that have taken place. We mentioned some of the running backs, but at quarterback, Baker Mayfield re-signs with Tampa Bay. That's a good look for him. He's comfortable there. They're comfortable with him.
Because that's a home run right there.
Yeah, 3 years, $100 million.
He played well last year. They won a playoff game.
Yep.
And they like him there. He fits in. Where are you going?
Rob, he's had 8 head coaches in his career.
It's ridiculous.
Come on, that's tough.
Just stay there and keep playing and build on it. I love it.
Absolutely. So good move for him. Obviously, Russell Wilson, and we'll get into that later. He signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Rob, the big question is, what does all this mean for Justin Fields? And we had a couple of callers bring it up because the number of teams that are in need of a quarterback. Obviously, every team doesn't have a great quarterback, but certain teams most teams are set at quarterback, Rob, or they're going to draft the guy.
You got to remember, Justin Fields got to get paid, isn't he? On that,
next year he would make about $3 million, but by May of this year,
it's the 5th year.
They have to decide on the 5th-year option, and that's where the challenge is.
Well, that's why
for Justin Fields. Well, there's more than that because I'm about to read you some of the stuff that's being said around the league. And by the way, Rob, that 5th-year option that they have to decide on by this May, it will pay Justin Fields $23.3 million.
Oh, my.
So that is a problem. And according to ESPN's NFL insider Dan Graziano, Rob, he's saying that teams are viewing – this is the feedback, according to him, that the Bears are hearing from teams as they look to try to trade Justin Fields. They're hearing from teams that they don't consider Justin Fields to be any more of a lock as far as, becoming a good player, good starting quarterback, than Sam Darnold or Drew Lock.
Wow.
The fact, Darnold, you can get him for a song, right? And same with Drew Lock. You can get those dudes for a couple million. And so that is one thing that's hurting Justin Fields, Rob, is not only are you uncertain as to how good he's going to be, but you have to decide by May before you really even see him, obviously before you see him play this season, as to whether or not you want to give him $23 million. And I think that's why Pittsburgh, Rob, looked at Russell, obviously.
Well, for $1.2 million, right?
Right.
I mean,
it's a no-brainer. And those are some of the things that are working against Justin Fields. And let me read, Rob, Justin has some incredible highlight plays. I mean, you can watch a Justin Fields highlight reel and be impressed. A lot of it, not all of it, there are a few nice passes in there. But a lot of it, Rob, is running, what he's done with his legs. And through week 17 last year, obviously teams rested their starters in week 18, a lot of teams that were in the playoffs. But through week 17, these are some of the rankings for Justin Fields.
All right.
Among the 31 qualified quarterbacks. In fourth quarter completion, he was 25th in the league. No, I'm sorry. He was dead last of the 31 qualified quarterbacks. 51.8%. In yards per attempt, he's 25th, 5.9. He was tied for 29th in fourth quarter interceptions. He had 6. And 30th in QBR. So since joining the league in 2021, Rob, Fields is last among 38 qualified quarterbacks.
Did you say last?
Last. In fourth quarter interceptions, 16. 36th in completion percentage, 56%. 33rd in QBR. And in 38 career starts, he's thrown for more than 225 yards only 6 times, Rob. 18 NFL starters last season averaged at least 230 passing yards a game. So Justin Fields is very much an unknown. Very talented, Rob, obviously, with his legs for sure, and has some arm talent. And some of it, obviously, we've talked about it. The Bears are not good at developing quarterbacks. They have not had, and this sounds like a joke, but it's not. It's the truth. They have not had a top-notch quarterback since Sid Luckman in the 1940s. That's the truth.
That's amazing. But we talk about it all the time.
And so
Sid Luckman was pretty damn good too.
Chris. Well, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Sid Luckman.
Yeah, some of this is on them, but obviously the player, some of it's on him too.
But this is what me and you talked about, like when people were like debating whether or not to keep him or not. Oh, the players want him. Dude, if there's any debate about the guy after you watched him play for 4 years, Chris, doesn't that tell you seriously? Like, after watching somebody that long, it should be like a no-brainer. Oh, no. Oh, we got Justin Herbert. We don't care if we have the first pick. We're not picking a quarterback.
Right. Right.
We're not picking a quarterback. It doesn't matter.
I think occasionally there may be, you're not certain on a guy yet. Obviously, there are some guys developed later or, later in their careers. But for the most part, I would tend to agree with you, Rob. And
I'm
so
just
here's
saying for
what
the
I want
most
to
part. Right.
Right. Here's what I want to throw at you. Where? I mean, I'm looking at teams now.
Well, where does he go?
That need, Minnesota. They've been associated with Sam Darnold. New England, which has been associated with, they're open for business. And Denver has been associated with, get these names, Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold. So what is the best landing spot for Justin Fields? If you're Minnesota, the problem is that 5th year, Rob. That's clearly what's turning people off. I would take Justin Fields over Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson.
Yeah, only because, to me,
there's a little more, right? A little more question that he might be good.
Right. Like there's a chance.
Right.
Where Sam Darnold, I think we know where he is. Zach Wilson, I got Zach Wilson is, right. There's like no doubt about it. I agree. There's like a little bit of an unknown.
Now, Wilson, of course, Rob G, he's got the 5th year issue as well. And so that could hurt him. I mean, I don't know who in the world is picking that up.
Nobody.
You'll just reject it. Yeah, you'll just, even if you sign him, you just be like, we're not picking you up for the 5th year.
Yeah, there would have to be some sort of attachment or
you just sign him for 1 year and say we're rejecting your 5th year option. So let's see what you do this year, Rob. I think that if I'm gonna throw a few things out at you, and maybe these teams, I guess they could, again, the same thing holds as far as the 5th year. But if you're the Jets, do you take a chance? Bring him in for a year. Now, maybe the problem is Aaron Rodgers is talking about playing 3 or 4 more years. But what if you brought in Justin Fields? He sits behind Aaron Rodgers and learns. He's a different type of quarterback, obviously. But, maybe he's your quarterback of the future if he can learn. We saw Jordan Love improve under Aaron Rodgers.
I just think he has to play. People want to see Justin Fields play. Like, he's played how many years? It's been 3 or 4?
3.
3 years. So he's played 3 years. For him to sit for 2 years, I just don't see that.
I don't want 2.
Well, but I'm just saying, like,
what about the Giants?
Chance.
I think I brought that up the other day.
Well, the Giants only got one more year, right? One more year.
They got Daniel Jones 1 more year. But what if you bring in Fields? Jones is your starter, but it's a short leash. First 4 games or so, Jones doesn't show you anything. Do you go to Fields?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just, I'm looking at possibilities.
They say though that the ownership loves Daniel Jones in New York, so that's going to be your your issue. They've already committed this kind of money to him.
This is last year guaranteed.
Right.
I mean, you might be right about
But somebody, I'm just saying, somebody likes him, Chris. Like we talk about all the time. All you need is one person, who's making a decision.
Right.
That's all you need. You don't need everybody. Everybody doesn't have to love you. Who's pulling the strings? Oh, that guy likes me? Okay, I got a shot.
Washington's going to draft a quarterback. New England probably is going to draft a quarterback, Rob. And so outside
the Mac
of
Jones
Minnesota,
thing, I just was surprised he went to Jacksonville. Not that he's out of New England, right? Were you surprised by that?
It's interesting. And obviously their guy is Trevor Lawrence, but why would you bring in another young guy?
Yeah, I was just surprised.
Is there just a slight doubt about Trevor? It's not going to be a comeback. It's not going to be a quarterback competition.
No,
but you know what I mean.
Or is it that Mac Jones is just a backup, Chris?
I think what'll happen. I think this could be a good situation for him. It was toxic up in New England, right? They mishandled him. I'm not trying to defend him like he's great.
No.
But they clearly mishandled him. And he needs to get out of there. So I look at Jacksonville, Rob. Doug Peterson's good with quarterbacks. He goes up there. There's no pressure on him, Rob. He's not going to play. Trevor Lawrence is the guy. You can learn for a year. In a stable, steady, quarterback-friendly environment, you learn. And then I think, Rob, next year, I don't think anybody would just give him the starting job. I'm certain of that. But after a year in Jacksonville, learning under Trevor Lawrence, I know they're young, same age, but still just learning from Doug Peterson, getting his swag back and his confidence back. And, I think a team might bring him in and give him a chance, to fight for a starting job. We saw Marcus Mariota and Mitch Trubisky, Sam Darnold now, Baker Mayfield, all have gotten second chances, Rob.
No doubt.
And so he could get a second chance, but it won't come right away.
Quickly, Rob G got an update from Ian Rappaport?
Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, in the last hour, so right as we went to Showtime, said on NFL Network that this could be spin, so take it for what it's worth. The Bears have not started seriously engaging in trade talks for Justin Fields because they want to be sure about selecting Caleb Williams first overall before they start gauging the interest on Justin Fields.
That's spin. That's
Absolutely.
spin. Where's Bill O'Reilly when you need him, Chris? That's spin.
That you don't have to be a seasoned journalist to know that.
That's them. They're trying to save the idea that he has no trade value.
Right.
Oh, we haven't really talked to anybody.
He's still very good. We might not even draft Caleb. He's that good.
Exactly.
He's so good.
Are you kidding? Dude, come on.
Yeah, I mean, but look,
they're going to sell you the Brooklyn
Rob.
Bridge too, Chris, if you let them.
I get it, right? They cannot, I don't think, have Justin Fields in the building when Caleb Williams is there.
No, you got to move on from there. I agree.
You got to. And so they have that's what they're doing. There is no question that is spin. Don't believe it for a second. If they haven't, and I don't believe this, but if they haven't been talking to teams about trading him, they're not doing their due diligence.
Absolutely. 877.
They should darn near be fired.
99 on 5. I'm with you, Chris. It's ridiculous for them to even put that out there.